Denise, we were talking earlier on, like after about 10 minutes, you knew Eddie was the one. You had this thunderbolt moment where you thought, you and I have got a future.
Yeah.
You really believe that?
I do believe that. Well, I think the thing is as well, when I met Eddie, I'd split up with Lee, so I'd spent a year on my own because I wanted to do a year single. And he was like the first date that I went on. It was a blind date, so I didn't know who I was meeting or anything. And I'm not
he
really...
had no clue at all.
No clue.
Was it friends who set you up?
Yeah, two of our friends. But the thing is, you know, when you get to that age, like, I don't want to go on, like... I know a lot of people go on social media and go on dating sites now. I just thought, I don't really want to do that. I want to do it this kind of slightly old-fashioned way, but put a bit of fun into dating. Because it was my first proper date. So when I met him, I didn't know what to expect. And when he walked in, you know, as he was walking towards me, first of all, about 3 guys walked past me and I was like, and they just walked past. Then I did it to a waiter who thought I was nuts because I'd been sat there for ages on my own. And then Eddie walked in and he came in. He was so friendly and warm. And I think, you know, just instantly when you talk to someone, he's from Essex, I'm from Essex, we had the same banter, the same humour, you know, it made me laugh straight away. I felt completely at ease. And then I just think, I don't know, I just sat there and I thought, do you know what? I don't think I need to look any further.
And luckily he felt the same.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He hasn't told me that yet. He's still there 3 years later. No, we both got on really well. But you do, I think you do kind of know. You know, and friends of mine who've gone on dates and said to me, you know, who have done like the internet dating thing, and they said when you have to go on these dates and you're sat there and after like 15 minutes you're thinking, I want this to be over. You know quite early on, don't you?
Yeah.
So yeah, but it really was, there was that little light bulb moment.
And you only get that in the face-to-face meeting thing, don't you, really? I think that's when you get a real sense of the person, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I want to tell you girls, at any age, the thunderbolt can hit. Because you're all young girls, but I would have been about 52, 53, and I was going to an event one night. It was a pre-drink thing for an opening night theatre, and I was walking with my friend to a hotel, and this man got out of a taxi on his own and just went striding into the hotel. And I said to my friend, I hope he's going to the same party we are. And sure enough, he did. And I met him there, and I'm talking about my present husband now, by the way, and the current husband. And after the theatre, there was an after-show party, and we just talked. And my youngest son, Michael came along and he said, oh, Johnny Gold wants to see you down here. And I went, oh, I'll be back. He went, you've been talking to that man all night. I thought you might need to be rescued. I went, thanks a lot, Michael. That was just great. But, you know, talking, as you get older, you look for different qualities. And I did fancy him, I have to say. But we talk all the time, which is really, really nice. So the thunderbolt can happen.
Obviously, Gloria, he clearly felt that as well then.
Well, thank goodness he did.
Exactly. So the thunderbolt, wouldn't it be awful if it happened for one person and not for the other? That kind of needs to happen on both sides, doesn't it?
That does happen, doesn't it? You see it, because I always watch that first dates. Do you watch it? And you're sitting there and I'm like, they both really like each other. And then when they do that bit at the end and he says, no, she's not for me, and you think, I never saw that come in. And it's just awful. You've been massively pied, haven't you? On TV.
On TV.
Who wants that?
Now, what was your moment with Frank?
My moment, I know I've probably shared this with you before on the show, but it was at the Pride of Britain Awards, and he was at another table, I was at the table, and we chatted afterwards. But there was a big group of us. But I knew there and then that he was good fun, that we had something. And then he disappeared off for a couple of weeks with football. We spoke on the phone every single day, and then
for how long?
There was one night we were about 5 hours on the phone. Wow. Actually, I'm not exaggerating. So by the time I actually met him for the first date, we knew everything about each other in this weird sort of way. And then on the first date, my mum, my sister were over in London with me, so they were there. And Frank was like, no, I'm going to come too. So he ended up coming, and I thought that meant a lot to me because I'm very close to my mum and my sister. So the fact he was willing to step out of his comfort zone and plonk himself down with the Blakeleys, it was just a really lovely thing. And we laughed so much. And so I think that's, and oddly enough, my mum and my sister that night also got the thunderbolt moment because they both knew that night that this was it.
They could see it in you.
Lovely. And you know, if you don't like someone, what's the point wasting time? I wouldn't be the type that sort of clings on for
Do you know what,
year.
Christy? Do you know what it's like in Northern Ireland? So after you got together and it was publicised in the papers, there was a real footy fan who said to me at the airport, I tell you what, that Christine's done all right for herself.
He's done all right and all.
That's what I like to remind him.
I feel like I get a thunderbolt at different stages of my relationship. I knew when I met Joe that we got on really well. I remember being really silly with him and laughing a lot and just knowing that he was my type of person, whether it would be a friend or partner, whatever it turned into. But I get my thunderbolts sort of when he shows what an amazing dad he is, or when he does, even when we weren't together, watching how he is with his mum, they're my little like, oh yeah, that's my kind of guy. And I feel we have to... Dad? My dad's like, yes. He's the one.
You met in Australia, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. But our relationship has had to go micro steps at a time because we've both got complicated family situations and we want to do the right thing and integrate really slowly and properly. So I don't feel like we've had that head over heels, oh, we're in love, let's go, go, go. It's kind of been like, I really, really like you, but I've got to hold back.
Sometimes that's the best way, though, particularly when children are involved, you know.
Yeah.
I think you have to do it sort of slowly, slowly.
Oh, I hope so. I do.